some news stories for you, two updates and four news stories. Two updates are about Ethiopian Airlines and S3199, a bill which was due to be considered by US Senate's Committee on Foreign Relations today. The bill proposes sanctions on Ethiopian government. What happened there? Then four news stories from Somalia, where a former MP has been killed in a suicide attack. She was a very staunch critic of President Farmajo and an advocate of Ikran Tahlil, an intelligence agent who was who went missing last year. Secondly, Filsan, Abdi and three former presidents of the Somali region of Ethiopia have written a letter to Ethiopian PM Abiy. What is this letter about? Thirdly, Jawar Oromia visited someone today. Where did they go? And lastly, Derartu Tulu, legendary Ethiopian athlete, was seen crying today. She was crying for Tigray, for the people of Tigray. I have a video clip for you, very moving video clip. The lady deserves respect. Second such video which I have seen since the start of Tigray conflict. Last year we saw Tariko, the singer, who cried on stage when he called for an end to Tigray war. Now, Derartu Tulu is speaking. I have a video clip for you. Firstly, two updates. CEO of Ethiopian Airline resigned today, Tivoldo Gabremariam. Now, a new CEO has been appointed. His name is Girma Wake. He has worked as Ethiopian Airlines CEO as well from 2004 till 2011. Then he worked as head of Rwanda Air too. Now he has been appointed as the head of Ethiopian Airlines. Definitely a very experienced guy in this field. Secondly, viewers, we know that today on Wednesday, US Senate's Committee on Foreign Relations was due to consider S3199, a bill which proposes sanctions on Ethiopian government in connection with Ethiopia-Tigray conflict. What happened there? The bill has been postponed. Discussion has been postponed. Now it will be considered next week. So we'll update you in coming week about S3199. The other bill, HR 6600, it is pending with US House of Representatives. It's pending there. Now, four news stories. Firstly, Somalia, viewers. We know that today an attack was carried out by some armed attackers close to Mogadishu airport. In that attack, at least 6 persons have been killed. One was AMISOM soldier and 5 foreigners. Another attack happened in Hiran region of Somalia. Baldwin is the name of the town where the suicide blast happened. Who was the target? A former member of parliament, Amina. The lady has died. She was a very staunch critic of Farmajo and she spoke for Ikran Tahlil. Ikran Tahlil was an agent of Somali intelligence agency. Last year, she went missing. Her family accused Fahad Yassin, President Farmajo's ally, and other intelligence agency officials. Farmajo was accused of backing Fahad Yassin, that he was trying to protect him. So far, the lady is missing. She has been killed reportedly, and so far no one knows who are the perpetrators. Amina was speaking out against Farmajo, against Fahad Yassin, and she was contesting election as well. Now she has been killed in the suicide blast which happened in Beledweyne town of Somalia. Are today's two attacks linked to upcoming Somalia's presidential election? Opposition parties, some opposition politicians, they are pointing their fingers toward Farmajo, that Farmajo and his allies are behind these attacks. They are using Al-Shabaab and other groups against opposition parties, but these are just political statements. We have nothing solid to make such a claim. Secondly, viewers, we have a new story from the Somali region of Ethiopia. Filsan Abdi, former minister, Ethiopian Foreign Minister, and 3 former presidents of the Somali region have written an open letter to PM Abiy. The letter has been made public. The 3 presidents of the Somali region, former presidents, are firstly Ahmed Makahil Hussein, secondly Khadir Malin Ali, thirdly Abdullahi Hassan Mohammed, and Filsan. So these 4 persons have written an open letter to PM Abiy. What are these 4 politicians saying? They say that Mustafa Umar's government is involved in corruption, nepotism, crackdown against dissidents, and crackdown against independent media, firstly. And they say that 200 million which were earmarked for drought relief have been misused for bribery by Mustafa Umar's government to undermine political opponents. And these politicians say that federal government must set up some emergency response commission and team of experts to visit Somali region and to oversee the arrangements, the preparations, the measures to tackle drought. People are suffering. Then lastly, these 4 politicians have announced that they are going to hold a conference in Addis Ababa about the issues faced by the people of Somali region. And they are hoping that Addis Ababa government, Ethiopian federal government, will provide security to these Somali politicians there in Addis Ababa, which is capital of Ethiopia. And they condemned PM Abiy's recent remarks at Prosperity Party General Assembly when he publicly criticized Mustafa Umar's government. Politicians say that it shouldn't have happened in public. If PM Abiy had some grievances, he should have raised these issues with Mustafa Umar in private, not in public. Somali regional government and its officials must not be humiliated in public. Let's see how will PM Abiy respond to these demands, this advice of these 4 politicians. Now, if this conference is held in Addis Ababa, will Filsan return to Ethiopia? She is not in Ethiopia, she is abroad. Her channel was closed to her parents, were arrested, they were released later. Nabba TV is back on air, but it's not operating from Ethiopia. It's operating from outside Ethiopia. Will she visit Ethiopia if this conference is allowed to be held in Addis Ababa? That remains to be seen. So these four politicians are trying to send a message to PM Abiy's government that the government should change Mustafa Umar, that there should be some new person to lead this region. But Mustafa Umar is a close ally of PM Abiy, though PM Abiy criticized him in recent Prosperity Party meeting. Will he change him? Will he replace him? That remains to be seen. Lastly, viewers, two more news stories. Jawar and Bakle Garba and Hamza Burana today visited Hachalo's wife. Hachalo, iconic Oromo singer who was killed in 2020. He was the main force, one of the main forces behind the protests which led to the removal of EPRDF government, and PM Abiy came to power. But he was assassinated in 2020, June 2020. Jawar Bakle Garba, they visited his wife, Hachalo's wife, today in Oromia. Lastly, viewers, and other news from Oromia. Derartu Tulu, hats off to you, great lady. She today shared a message during a ceremony. She spoke and she urged Ethiopian government to help the people of Tigray. She was crying. You could see that she was crying. Second such video, which is very moving. We saw Tariko Kankisi last year when he spoke that the war should come to an end during a public gathering. He came under pressure, then he had to apologize. He was seen crying as well. Now Derartu Tulu is crying for the people of Tigray. Legendary Oromo Ethiopian athlete, and she was the first Ethiopian athlete who won a gold medal in Olympics and the first African black woman to win a gold medal at Olympics. I am all praise, all prayers for this great lady. Ethiopian influencers, Ethiopian artists, athletes, land of great athletes is Ethiopia. These influencers, entertainers disappointed me. They shouldn't have taken any sides in this conflict. They should have been on one page. They should have called for unity. But we saw that some took sides, but at least someone is speaking now. Watch this clip of Derartu Tulu. She is urging Ethiopian government to help the people of Tigray. Thank you for watching.
ክቡር ሚኒስትራችን ይናገራሉ። ትንሽ መጨመር ካለብኝ ድጋሜ እንኳን ደስ ያላችሁ፣ ድጋሜ እንኳን ኢትዮጵያ አንገቷን ቀና አረገች። እንደተባለው የሀገራችን ጉዳይ ያመናል። ሁላችንንም ህሉፍ ያለውን እጋራለሁ። ሁላችንንም የትግራይ እናቶች አባቶች እናቶቻችን አባቶቻችን ናቸው። በእርግጠኝነት ነገ ደግሞ ሌላ ቀን ነውና ኢትዮጵያ ታርቃ አንድ ሆና ትቆምና የኢትዮጵያን ባንዲራ ታውለበልባለች። ስለዚህ አይክፋችሁ፣ ትክክል ነው፣ ክብር ይገባችኋል። በብዙ ፈተናዎች አልፋችሁ በብዙ ተጽዕኖ አልፋችሁ የኢትዮጵያን ባንዲራ ከፍ ስላደረጋችሁ በጣም እናመሰግናለን። ትግራይ ትላንትናም ብትሆን ኢትዮጵያ ናት፣ ዛሬም ብትሆን ኢትዮጵያ ናት፣ ነገም ኢትዮጵያ ነች። ስለዚህ እባካችሁ መሪዎቻችን እባካችሁ ተጎርታችሁ ኢትዮጵያን አንድ አድርጓት። እባካችሁ ከእግዚአብሔር ጋር ትችላላችሁ። ስለዚህ መሪዎቻችን ተጎርታችሁ ለኢትዮጵያ ብላችሁ ለህዝብ ብላችሁ እናንተ አንድ ካረጋችሁ ኢትዮጵያ አንድ ትሆናለች። ስለዚህ ቅድም እንደተባለው ስፖርት ደግሞ አንዱም ይሄ ነው። ወንድማማችነት፣ ፍቅር፣ ሰላም ነው። ለሰላም ለፍቅር ቆሞ እነዚህ ልጆች ምንም ሳይበግራቸው ለዚህ ውጤት በቅተዋልና አሁንም ቢሆን ክብር ይገባቸዋል። እናከብራቸዋለን። በእርግጠኝነት ቤተሰቦቻችሁ የት እንዳሉ ታውቃላችሁ። ግድ የላችሁም። እንወዳችኋለን፣ እናከብራችኋለን። እንደ ልጆቻችን ነው አሁን የምናያችሁ። ስለሆነም ትግራይ ዛሬም ትግራይ ብቻዋን አይደለችም፣ ከኢትዮጵያ ጋር ነች። ነገም ከኢትዮጵያ ጋር ትሆናለች። አሜሪካ ትግራይን ለመጥቀም አይደለም፣ ኢትዮጵያንም ለመጥቀም አይደለም፣ ለመበተን ነውና ሰው ስለሆነ ኤችአር 66600 የሚባለው አሁን ልጸድቅ በመንገድ ላይ ያለው መሪዎቻችን ስለ ህዝባችን አይተው ስለ ወደፊት ኢትዮጵያ አይተው ከተስማሙ ኤችአር 6600 የሚጸድቅበት ምክንያት የለውምና ህዝባችን ከመንግስቶቻችን ጎን ቆመው ሁላችንም የትግራይ ህዝብ የኢትዮጵያ ህዝብ እኔ የትግራይ ህዝብ እና የኢትዮጵያ ህዝብ ስል ኮንፈርት አይስማኝም። እንደ ኢትዮጵያ ነው ሁላችንም የምናየውና ሁሉም ብሔረሰቦቻችን ኢትዮጵያ ናቸው። ትላንትናም ኢትዮጵያን ተባብረው ነው እዚህ ያበቁትና ነገም ዛሬም እንተባበር፣ ኢትዮጵያን አንድ እናድርጋት። እኛ ልጆቻችሁ ከኦሮሞ የመጣ ከአማራ የመጣ ከትግሬም ከጉራጌም ከየትም የመጣው ለዚህ ነው አንዷን ባንዲራ ከፍ ያደረግነው ማለት ነው። ስለሆነም እኛ ብሔር ሳንለይ ሃይማኖት ሳንለይ ጾታ ሳንለይ ባንዲራችን ያነሳነው ስለተባበርን ነው፣ በጽናት ስለቆምን ነው። ስለሆነም ለእናንተም አቅትም የትግራይ ብሔራዊ ክልል መንግስትም ይሁን የኢትዮጵያ መንግስትም እባካችሁ ስለ ኢትዮጵያ ነገ ስለ ነገዋ ኢትዮጵያ አንድነት ስለ ብልጽግናዋ ስለ እድገቷ ስለ ሰላሟ ስለ አንድነቷ እባካችሁ አቅታችሁ እኛም